Hey, see if they got any pie.
Hello.
Hey, see if they got any pie. Bring me some pie.
Sit down. The place slightly resembles an insane asylum.
Well, all you need to start an asylum is an empty room and the right kind of people.
It's the kitchen sink.
Prepare to be astonished.
Kitchen sink. Kitchen sink.
Everything.
The kitchen sink.
Oh, hey everybody, how's it going? It's Kitchen Sink, yo! What's up?
We are here.
We are here and we are live. Introduce yourselves, people.
I'm bad. He's red. I'm bad.
I am the doctor.
And I am Gear, otherwise known as Rach. I give up.
Haha, you got 4 letters in your name.
Everybody knows who I am. So,
I was wondering if we were gonna, that could happen.
who knows,
Because
man?
they've outed me at my practice. They know that I'm on the show, And I was in the exam room the other day, and they called me on it. They said, we're listening to the Kitchen Sink. And I said, it's not the Kitchen Sink. It's Kitchen Sink live stream on YouTube.
Yes, it is.
Because there is a war on and for your mind.
There is a war for your mind, and that's kind of the whole thing about our deal. I'm just trying to find out how to share this damn thing. I hate technology so very much, y'all. So I wanted to start with a couple headlines. Some of the things we're going to be talking about today. The Fire and Fury book by Michael Wolff.
Oh my God.
Everybody's talking about that sumbitch. And I have gotten to chapter 20.
You have your own copy. And
I
Yes.
do.
I think
We
I know
have-
who gave you your own copy.
We have an
Right?
audio
Bad.
copy, and as soon as they print more, we get a fucking physical copy.
I hear the
Because
whole
I
thing's
want to
true.
mark it up.
The
So
whole
do
thing's
I.
true.
That's what the author said.
The whole thing's true. So what? Okay, you're at chapter 20 already.
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's a fast read.
Well, I've been listening to it actually on
Right.
Audible, so there's that.
Yeah, we don't have the physical book yet.
Did you hear about the guy that's been making a ton of money? I forget I'll have to look up the author's name, but the guy that originally wrote Fire and Fury in 1950 something. I don't know. I forget when it was written, but it was written about World War II. He's been making a ton of money off the book because everybody's been buying his book thinking that
All right. Well, when I heard, look, a lot of people when they heard Fire and Fury, they thought for sure that was when Omarosa was out the door. They thought that had to do with her being fired.
And she was furious?
Yeah, she was.
So they had-
fired.
they had
that
to
wasn't
escort her
that
out.
good. That wasn't that funny, really.
You know, she's not mentioned in the book yet, and I'm like
Not yet.
waiting for her to be mentioned because she's so self-important. Omarosa is.
Right. So
You know?
everything's about the stable
Genius.
genius.
You know, it's actually the thing about the book, the Michael Wolff Fire and Fury book. You know, let's
Right.
be clear
Fire
here.
and Fury.
The thing about the book is that it is actually kind of what you've been seeing from all the news reports.
Right.
If you've been watching the news and you've been keeping up with politics, this is what the White House has been portrayed as. So it just kind of like confirms my suspicions about what's been going on in the White House. It just delves deeper into stuff and it gives you a little bit more of an idea where like his motivations come from for doing things. He is so hapless that he has to have 4 million people tell him what to do. And here's something that's very interesting. Everybody in the White House has a press secretary.
Right.
The press secretary has a press secretary.
It's fucking weird,
It's
man.
insane.
He averages 5.6 falsehoods or lies a day.
Yeah, right? I like that one.
So anyway, that he has already logged over 2,000.
Actually,
Well
we hit
over.
2,000 lies yesterday.
Was it
Was it
yesterday?
yesterday?
It was
Okay.
yesterday.
Okay, so did he talk today? Because then we're
I
up
Doesn't
to-
matter.
We're up to
He
3,000.
can talk with his thumbs on the shitter, man. You don't have to say anything with with your face,
I kind of feel like that's how he probably does most of his stuff.
Probably.
Like, calls it a day at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, right. But yeah, no.
Dives into bed with a cheeseburger and his laptop. And
Like
his
you were
3
saying,
screens.
baby, like it's kind of like a duh thing. in that we already kind of suspected all
Right,
this,
right.
right? You know? And then
It just
here's this fucking
confirms
book
all
that's
your
just like, oh, it reminds me of the Snowden leaks. And that, like, you always suspected that, you know,
Right.
like, all that shit was happening. And everybody's like, you're fucking crazy, whatever, blah. And then that shit dumps, and it's like, fuck you, I
Right.
knew it.
Right. It makes perfect sense. It's what we thought it was. It is what we thought it was.
And so much more.
Yes. Well, what they logged him in as at a 4th grade mentality.
Yeah, 4th
and
grade.
the dumbest. Since
Since they
education
started
was a
measuring,
thing.
yeah.
Since education became a thing, he came in the dumbest.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's just a White House out of control, especially in the first year. And the first question I have is one that a lot of people are asking. Why the hell did they even allow this to happen? Why would you have a fucking reporter sitting there going, huh, that's interesting. I'll write that shit down.
Ego trumps everything for
Or just
Trump.
ignorance, man.
Right. Well, but Trump, you're telling him you're going to write about him? You're in.
Yeah,
Especially
right.
back then where he thought he was
Yeah, okay.
he was
yeah.
untouchable at that time. He's like, you're going to write more about me? Please do.
Yeah.
Here's what happened.
Please do.
The guy Michael Wolff wrote this article that was actually kind of scathing about Donald Trump, but the picture that he used, Trump thought he looked like a strong man, so he was like, that guy's awesome, get his ass in here and
Right.
let's have him. And then he was actually like, he just scoffed at him, going, you're gonna write a book? A book? Why would anybody read a book?
Well, right, yeah.
That's his mentality. That is the president of the United States of America going, sure, come on in, sit down, no problem.
Oh, I
Nobody's
wonder-
going to read a book.
I wonder how long it's going to take for Trump to take credit for, you know,
Right.
the selling of all these books. Or has he
Oh,
already?
he already
I
has,
don't know.
already
Has
has.
he?
The funny thing is, the title of the last book Trump read was, the title was Pamphlet.
Pamphlet.
No, it wasn't. It was postcard.
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 Dear Daddy, I'm
Oh.
in Jerusalem.
Yeah,
You should
he-
make the embassy here. It's really nice.
To your point, Bad, he just said that the news organizations would want him to be reelected. So,
Yeah.
because they're going out of business because there's no news.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant, like,
Right.
about the whole book thing. But he
Yeah,
already has
you're
taken credit for
exactly
it
right.
selling so many. That's fucking hilarious.
Oh, I love this. One of our comments is, but the 45th went to the best schools, the best, with the best people, and got really great grades. Really great. It must be true, because I read it in the Twitterverse or something.
Must be true. Everything on the internet is fucking true.
Well, especially if it comes from the Twitter feed of POTUS, you know?
POTUS.
That's official White House documents, y'all. Statements, sorry.
Where's Red?
I'm right here.
Hi.
Alright.
Red, what do you think about Ivanka and the son having their personal bet between the two of them to see which one runs next?
It's Ivanka and Jared, the
Yeah.
son-in-law, so... Javanka, as
Now,
they called him in
Javanka.
the book.
Jared, now,
Javanka.
Jared had the Subway deal. He had the deal with Subway for a while.
Wait, no, that wasn't.
Wrong Jared.
Different Jared.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that guy was...
Well, I'm pretty sure
that
this
that
one's a
guy
pedophile
got
as well.
stabbed in jail because he's a pedophile.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to know if that other Jared Kushner isn't a pedophile either.
Yet.
He looks like a
But hey,
mannequin.
that's neither here nor there.
That guy's creepy, dude. So yeah, the plan is that Ivanka is going to run for president and be the first woman president, and then Jared has his turn.
Has his turn. It's my
So-
turn.
Okay, it's your turn, honey. Oh, you're so a piece of the Middle East. You're so smart.
Now, is this before or after Oprah? Because Oprah's in.
A presidency for you, and a presidency for you,
for you.
and a presidency for everybody.
If
No,
everybody's the
it would be
president,
more
then
like
that's
Oprah
anarchy.
would. If Oprah became president, it would be, you're getting health care, and you're getting health care.
Right.
You look underneath your couch. Everybody's getting health care.
Underneath your couch. That's creepy. How did that happen?
She's
Right.
Oprah, dude. She can do
She gives
anything.
gifts under your
God
seat.
damn it. She's a fucking gnome.
You know, just to say it, she would make better choices. I think she would. But I don't think that we have to have a battle between reality stars for the presidency. I don't
Well,
think it
that's
needs
the-
to go there. But I know she'd make better choices than so-and-so.
But she's a bajillionaire too.
Here's the deal,
All
guys.
right, and she'd have her own thing going. Her
All right,
own-
if the liberal fucking left is going to be like, reality TV stars can't be president, then they cannot go for Oprah. It's hypocrisy.
Right, right. I'd go for Oprah. She
Apparently-
scares me. She scares me. I do. Look, I do whatever Gear says because she scares me.
I scare
Right.
everyone.
I do what Oprah says.
President because I think it's a ridiculous thing in the first place. Being president is it's a ridiculous thing. One person can't decide what a couple million billion people want to fucking do or how they want to live. It's unrealistic, and this president isn't even making any decisions in the first place because they're controlled by all these huge corporations that are buying them out. And you can see from how our presidency got bought out this time, it was a TV man that owns a bunch of corporations and is supported by a bunch of corporations. It's all about money and it's all about wealth. So I don't think another president is good for our economy. I don't think it's good for our country. I think we need to start thinking about a different way of governing. And a different, we need to think about a different way of a different system of things, a different way to do things in general. I think our system is broken and it needs to be changed.
It's way broken, and
Revolution.
I don't know how else to do it, y'all, because here's the thing. We have what's now called a political class, and these people make hand over fist money. All they do is lunch with people and raise money and do all these things. It's just an unreal lifestyle, and they don't have anybody's interest at heart but themselves. So how can we ever achieve any kind of equality or justice in this kind of system when money rules all and corporations rule our politicians? They literally, in this tax cut bill, you had lobbyists from K Street write a list of what they wanted, and that was passed around to the Republican members of Congress, and they implicated those things in the changes in the tax cut.
Yeah.
That's why they kept messing with it. It wasn't for the best of the American people. It was for the betterment of their donors.
Yeah, we legalized lobbying. That's a major problem, and now they've gotten to the point they're not lobbying and pushing for they've got lists. They will provide you with a copy,
From corporations.
like your media outlet tries to provide you with talking points, and you don't take them. That's what you do. You crumple them up.
Yeah.
And you throw them out.
Okay, let's take a minute to read a couple of comments from a couple different chats. I like this one from David. Make them have a fucking plan before we vote for them that the American people can see. Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Yes, make them have a plan. And another
Make them
one.
stick to it then too.
Right.
Another one is we need to vote on issues instead of people from Beard, in my opinion. And I agree. I don't think it should be the celebrity Bernie or Trump or Hillary or whomever.
Oprah.
Yeah.
I think it should be, what do you stand for? Are you for universal health care? Are you for a basic income?
Right.
Which at this point,
betterment of the humankind. Are you a betterment for people in general? I think we've gotten past just our country anymore. We're on a worldwide scale now of humanity, and we need to stop thinking so small, and we need to start thinking bigger and stop thinking just within our own little hometowns and start thinking about everybody around us.
We're all connected now.
It's the only way things are going to get changed.
Yeah.
I think it has to start at the local level, and I do actually have a small modicum of hope because we have a lot of young people who are pissed off, and they're sick of this shit, and they're all starting to run for office. We saw a woman who
But if all you're thinking about is small town hometown shit and that's all you want to change, then you're never going to change anything big.
No.
Red. No, I'm talking about at the state senate level.
It's just where you start.
It's
man.
where you start. And here's the thing. There are like people who are outing long-term, lifelong politicians who have been establishment bullshit people who are the complete opposite of that mantra of that Republican person. And they have now switched the whole entire constituency to, like, see their side, right? So, like, a lesbian outed somebody who wrote part of a bathroom bill for transgender people. Shit like that. That kind of stuff gives me hope. And it's few and far between. There's a Native American woman running who's very anti-Trump for office in one of the western states. Sorry, I don't have the research right in front of me. It was not on the list today.
But
I'm in New Mexico right now, and we were at a bar. They only have one bathroom, and it has a woman and a man on it. I don't know what their issues are here, if they have issues with transgenders, but it doesn't seem like it. And I don't know what that issue would ever be, because if anybody's ever used a porta potty, I don't know if they asked if somebody other than their gender ever used a porta potty before them.
I think that if you've ever, like...
Everybody pisses and shits, right? Everybody has to excrete something from their body at one point in time. It doesn't matter who you are or what gender you are. Everybody has to excrete shit out of them.
Except for gingers.
So, who cares?
Right. Every bathroom at your house is a transgender house.
Right.
Boom!
Exactly.
Well, but what about these old school people like...
Small-minded people. All these people are just small-minded and fucking assholes.
Well, it's like Jeff Sessions types, they keep perpetuating this idea that predators are going to use these bathrooms to go after children. And it's just like, man, I feel like it's a bathroom. It mostly gets used as a bathroom.
If you're allowing some small child that doesn't know any better to go in there by themselves, that's not the child's fault. That's the parent's fault.
Yeah, like, be a better parent. I mean, how much of our lives would be better if we had better parents, right? I mean, I think
a lot of our problem is lacking of parenthood and lacking of a good teaching from childhood. Parenthood is lacking these days.
Never let my kids sit in the car while I went inside the gas station when they were little. I never let my girls go into a bathroom unattended. Never, ever let them go into a stall by themselves. Are you kidding me?
If I was traveling with my nieces and we went in and we had to stop at a gas station, I'm gonna walk with them to the bathroom and make sure that, you know, I stand outside of it and hang out. I'm like, that seems like a normal thing to do, because I want to make sure that they're okay and they're safe. But at the same time, I'm not thinking about some transgender person coming up and trying to rape them in the freaking bathroom. I'm thinking about some freaking dude that looks just like me trying to come in there and freaking take advantage of them. That's what I'm worried about. It's not some transgender or some gay person.
Right.
Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all.
As a parent, you accompany them no matter what. The one time I didn't accompany my son, he was targeted by a easily locking door that he couldn't unlock. That's the worst thing that happened. He got locked in the bathroom.
That's fucking scary, though.
You know, so you exactly. And I got that thing open quick. But the idea is that that's what you're going to come against. It's not going to be a predator.
Yeah.
You have
First
to be
time
there
I
for
was
your
allowed
kid.
to go to the bathroom by myself in a public restroom, I got in trouble because I thought the toilet mints were actual mints, and I got caught licking them.
Oh! Oh, man.
And there that is.
And that
So I don't know
could
what's
possibly
worse.
explain a lot. That
Getting
could explain
freaking
a
butt
lot.
raped in the bathroom from some random stranger, or licking a toilet mint that every Trump pissed on. I don't know. What's worse?
And washing your hands in the trough thinking it's a sink. A big sink for everybody.
Oh, look, they got soap in here already.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't even know what to say right
And
now.
so when was that, Red? Was that 7 months ago when you first?
I don't know, like
Just-
3 or 4 months ago, and it wasn't that long ago.
Just a recent event.
Oh
Last
my
time
God.
I was at the casino, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
I just had somebody in the chat say, "Tell him never to admit that again,
Right.
ever."
Ever.
Now it's gonna happen. He wasn't gonna, but thanks
Right.
for giving him the
Now
idea.
he's going to expand on it.
Thanks, David.
You just gotta
You know what?
let
This,
it go.
this show is all about truth and reality. It's
That's
not
right.
about lies and hiding things. I don't care. It's something that happened. If it scares you, I'm sorry, but it was real. So be it.
So
That's
man,
what it
welcome
was.
to the jungle. It's like the struggle
Awkward
Don't,
silence.
sometimes.
all I
makes
can
me
say is
wonder.
don't lick them because they don't taste like mint.
Oh, whew.
No matter how good they smell, they don't taste like that
Mothballs
smell.
smell good. I wouldn't eat one.
Right.
Oh Lord.
Well, what are you doing checking moth genitalia anyway to talk about moth balls?
Just let it happen, man.
Has the show devolved at all?
Can we say hi to Paula, please, who's
Paula!
listening?
Hi, Paula.
Is it our Paula?
It's our Paula.
What's
Hi,
up?
Paula. We miss you, actually.
We do. Thank you for tuning
You're
in.
right up-
I know. I'm right up the
I
road.
mean-
She doesn't know. She doesn't want to know that I live right up the road from her. She doesn't want to know that.
Oh shit! No,
She wants to feel safe at home
to.
and knowing that I'm nowhere near. But yeah, our friends at the Round Mountain Nursery are listening in tonight.
Well, thanks,
Awesome.
guys.
And,
Rock and roll.
Our friends
Well,
in
we
LA,
love Round
my
Mountain.
cousin
That's
Scotty's
awesome.
supposed to be listening in.
Yo, Scotty, what's up?
We're trying to spread the love around. And Red's in
Somewhere,
parts unknown.
as usual.
I'm in New Mexico right now in Santa Fe, and I'll be here for another week or so.
And then off to other parts unknown.
But yeah, but I think the next show I'll probably be back in New York for the next show.
Yeah. Well,
Most
good
likely.
for fucking you. We'll be here in this tiny room, scrammed together.
Do you know, that's funny you say that. This is one of the most high-tech, beautiful recording studios I've ever had the ability to be in. And
It does
You
have
know,
copious notes. I will say that.
It makes the production room and radio look ridiculous, right? Like,
Well, in local radio,
I mean, because look at
probably.
this, all this wall of buttons, basically. This
It's,
is a
yeah,
wall of
that's the
buttons.
server. It's
That's a
cool.
wall of speakers.
He's lying.
See, I'm thinking, you know,
What will
thinking
happen
like
It's a
eventually?
radio.
little mouse on a wheel, and it's turning some things.
you know,
and
yeah. In radio, I used to say it was the exam room. There really was no stirrups. You know, there was not really an
or it's
exam
kind
room.
of like the IT crowd when they open the door and they meet freaking what's the guy behind the door? I
Never
forget his-
remember his name.
Richmond.
Richmond.
Obviously.
Goddamn.
And he's like, these things light up all the time. All these lights they blink all the time, but I don't know what they do. Sometimes they blink. Oh, it's gonna blink again. Up there.
Watch it. There it goes.
Watch it. There it goes.
I have
Oh,
no idea what it means.
what does that do?
I have no idea.
I have no idea what that does.
At least he listens to Cradle Filth. Okay, from Paula, she says she sees Doc in town all the time, but she's double locking her door now.
She's
So.
spying on you, dude.
That's funny.
Just looking out for you.
Okay, all
There's that
right.
Doc guy.
That happens.
All right, we're getting lost. What's the next topic? What are we talking about?
We're always
I feel
lost.
like going on a tangent.
Hey, so a couple California congressional people are retiring after their term this year. This year? Yeah, this year.
That wasn't one of our topics.
No, threw you a curveball. Deal with it.
Okay. I
So-
made a promo, motherfuckers!
Well,
I'm
everybody
sorry,
wants
man.
out. Everybody wants out now. Trump ruined it for everybody. Everybody wants out.
Everybody's
But
like,
what-
no, I'm good.
But I
hide
know
their
what
faces.
you want to talk about. You
Um,
want to talk about
how do you
Oro,
guys feel
Come
Nevada.
about-
back to it. Yeah.
How do you guys feel about Trump trying to elect judges? Because judges can't be elected out. They're in their seat forever.
Well, he
Yeah.
had to. He had to. That was his fucking deadline, and he just kind of winged it. I mean, and that's bullshit in my humble opinion. But I mean, you knew he was gonna replace him with fucking douchebags anyway once he started firing people. So it's not surprising on one hand, but on the other hand, it shouldn't have been all done in 1 hour on the last day. That's a fucking mess, and
it's insane.
gonna take a while to clean that shit up. Might have to do something.
I have no idea, like, what this guy is doing. He really just seems, from the book, Fire and Fury, he seems to be what he is right there on the outset. He seems to be the guy who wants attention and craves attention, and when he gets bad attention, he throws fits, and he can't deal with it. He's got a very, very, very thin skin. He's very fragile, and he's not very young, and I'm very concerned about it. And one of the things that really concerned me was I've watched quite a few interviews with Michael Wolff on several different shows, and I think it was Colbert who really kind of grilled Michael Wolff over the book, because he's like, come on, man, like, really, how much of this is true? And Michael Wolff said, all of it's true. And then he said, you know, I'm sorry, but you should be very disturbed by this. This is disturbing. This man is unhinged. So that's where we are right now.
Well, he's what, 70-something? 71, 72?
71, I believe.
71?
And he lied about his height so that his BMI he wouldn't be obese for his body mass index.
Well, didn't he just have his checkup a couple days ago? He is, this man...
Hasn't President Trump said that he's the least racist person that you would ever meet? And he also, at the same time, said that anybody coming from African countries or from Haiti are shithole countries.
Fuck you, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you're reading my mind.
Are you kidding me right now?
No.
We all thought of that at the same time.
That's basically a quote.
He wants to know why we want Haitians and Africans.
Shithole countries.
Why don't we want more people from Sweden, right?
And the Caribbean.
Yeah, he wants people from Europe, like Sweden and
Rather
Norway,
than places like Norway. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my God.
Obviously, dog whistle for fucking white people, not brown or black people.
You just gotta be
is
polar.
so ignorant. The level of ignorance.
It's a level of entitlement that upsets me, you know, like...
I think it might have something to do with who we just talked to. I mean,
and that's what it is. In the book, you find out that whoever he just talked to is what he decides to do to make policy about.
Right.
If Javanka gets a hold of him, Jared and Ivanka, his ideas are more liberal and more like moderate Republican, because Jared and Ivanka are Democrats. They're liberal Democrats.
Makes me wonder what the Prime Minister of Norway whispered into his ear.
Oh
Is she just like trolling him, or like
maybe?
what's
Who
going
knows?
on?
So
those people ain't that great.
That would be fucking hilarious.
With Bannon out now, will
Bannon
we see?
is circling back.
He's fucked now, and you know This is something that I did want to talk about, because with Trump and Bannon fighting, I'm wondering who gets the fucking torch-bearing khaki boys. You know, like, is it Trump? Is it Bannon?
Custody?
Like, who gets custody of these douchebags?
Depends on who Trump talks to.
Who gets custody of Angry Whitey? But you don't think this is planned? I think their beef is so fake. Because if you beefed with anybody, it would be so much deeper than what they're saying to each other. And now Bannon's already apologized, and you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He's still like sloppy Steve.
It's still just like okay. Here's what
Bannon's rating will have to go up for Trump to be his friend again.
He actually. Right. This is what's going to have to happen, guys. He's going to have to get good press.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing Trump seems to care about is good press.
Then he'll latch right back onto him.
He's actually said to his 26-year-old confidant, and I don't know what she is. She's been called the actual first daughter, Hope Hicks. He actually said to her, because she could not get a good write-up about him in the Wall Street Journal, he told her she was a terrible PR person. Like, this is where we're at. He is blaming everybody else for his shit. Yeah, she's about
as long-suffering as Kellyanne.
Kellyanne is her own problem. I have no... Kellyanne.
If Kellyanne Conway and Hope Hicks got together, you would just hope that they were on the side of good. Because they are evil Sith full-on Sith Lords for my friends out there that would understand that reference.
They really are Sith Lords from hell.
But Ivanka is she's gonna be VP for Oprah. I mean, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Because did you see her tweet a day after Oprah made her speech? You go, girl.
Lord.
Don't say it. Just don't. You know what I mean?
So, to finish up with the book, most of it is about, like, Steve Bannon, Roger Ailes, Rebecca Mercer, and Rob Mercer, Rebecca and Rob Mercer are the funders behind all of this. They're the billionaires who funded Trump's run for president, basically. They're the ones who brought Bannon in order to really kickstart his campaign because, was it Corey Lewandowski at the time? It was his, I think it was, and he was low energy and he wasn't getting good press, so they kicked, then Manafort, and then Bannon. Okay, so that's what it went. Lewandowski, I get, there's so many people that he's fucking fired already.
And they're all monotone.
And they're all white, and I can't tell them apart.
Because they are
all look the same.
monotone.
Because they're all the same fake politician person. Like,
From the
every
same
single one of them.
machine.
So, it's hard to keep track. So, the basic thing of the book so far is that the White House is in chaos. We should really be frightened.
And you're at chapter 20, right?
Chapter 20.
How many chapters are there?
I'm not sure.
I don't
Let me find out.
Will you be willing to update us next week?
Absolutely.
Fire and Fury.
By Michael Wolff. Yeah.
The book to have right now.
We'll read it for you.
Right? Or get the old Fire and Fury.
Not the one by Randall Hansen.
From 2008, I believe.
1945, the Allied bombing of Germany. Completely different book by the same name, but he's been making a ton of money.
Yeah, from 2008.
Good on him. He
Right?
deserves it.
So people are like, somebody somewhere is getting the wrong book, and they're like, well, Trump did a war
Wait,
on Germany.
What's his book about? What's Randall's book about?
The Allied bombing.
Oh, well, fuck,
A
dude, I
lot of
might want to read
people-
that now.
A lot of dumb people probably are reading that book going, I knew Trump had something to do with Hitler.
Yeah. So Trump gets custody of the little Nazi.
Oh, we've solved the
We
problem.
solved the whole thing
Thanks,
in one
Red.
episode. Drop your mic, Red. Mic drop. Mic drop sound effect.
Well, if you have ever researched anything about the Trump family, they've been dealing with a lot of that shit, and they actually were Nazi supporters back in the day. His great grandfather was a Nazi supporter, if I remember correctly.
Well, all
I
right.
could be,
Nobody wants to
pretty sure
go that
that's
far
true,
back, but that's true. Yeah. Definite Nazi supporter.
I'm still in shock from that. That's funny.
Yeah. Well, you know, Trump did not want to be the president. His staff did not think he would become president even the night of.
Yeah?
Red called it. Red knew he'd be president.
Oh, I knew he was going to be president, of course.
You're a Viking. You can see it coming.
Yeah.
There's too many stupid people. They wanted this stupidity, and it was just too easy.
Yep.
I don't know. It's
Idiocracy
funny.
happened. The movie Idiocracy happened.
It's like you're walking down a road and you hit a fork in the road, and one fork says, "Oh, this is gonna be the hard way, and this is gonna take a little bit of effort, and it's gonna be you're probably gonna get hurt, bruised, scraped, and injured, but at the end you're gonna really appreciate this." And then the other fork of the road says, "Easy way," and
fuck it.
And there's
don't
a
worry
bar.
about anything, fuck it. Don't worry about it. Let us take care of it. You don't have to think about it. And then you just deal with it. And that's what everybody wants to do. They don't want to think about anything. You just fucking take the easy way and you just fucking deal with it, because nobody wants to work for anything anymore. Nobody wants to think about anything, and everybody wants everything done for them. But then they have somebody that gets into office like this, and I don't know. It blows my mind. It's that some people still think that he's working for them. Some
I can't
people
believe people still think, well, you know, I'm hoping he'll do that good business he's known for. I'm hoping to see that for us. And it's like, man, he's bankrupt 5-6 times.
Well, but on the other side, there's more and more people every day that are like, this guy is not out for me. You know,
right.
he's
He lost the popular vote.
Well, yeah.
And we're every day. I think you're right, Matt. I think that more people are coming over, but there's just not an election we can do today.
Don't get me wrong. They're not coming over, dude. There's no way. But they're realizing slowly that this dude is not doing what he fucking said he was going to do for him.
You know,
plain and simple.
I have
and
noticed.
Finally waking up.
Stuck in a way of thinking, and it's stuck in a way of government and a way of progress that is not progress anymore. We are just stuck. Right. We are in a hole. The whole world's government system is basically the same in a lot of senses, except for a very few countries. Most of the countries around the world have the same government system, the same bullshit, and it isn't doing anybody any good. Like we said before, the system is broken, and we need to come up with a new plan of action to be able to benefit the masses of society and the masses of mankind. And we need to stop looking at lines in the sand and country lines and stop looking at governments as like different countries. We need to start looking at people as people instead of races, and start thinking as each other as individual or as equals instead of different. And as soon as we start seeing each other as the same and start accepting each other as equals, we'll have a better progress to move forward with. Because the way that we're doing it now, the capitalist system is a greedy, individualistic system that doesn't benefit anybody except for a very few.
We need to quit using our system of measurement.
Well, it's a broken system that the government and the people in it do not think is broken because it's still making them money.
It's working for them.
Right,
Yeah,
it's working for them, and it's a broken machine that fixes itself, a machine that feeds itself, is how they get paid. Some people call that machine bureaucracy, but it's bullshit, and that's what they love, and we need to call them on it.
Most people don't even realize, like, our money system in the United States isn't even owned by the government. It's owned by a private company
known as
the
say it,
Federal Reserve.
A Federal Reserve. So you're not even working with the government. You're working with a private company that is taxing the federal government for their money, and they're putting a lien on them, and you can never pay back the money that they
oh, honey. No. You need to watch Democracy School. You need to learn, and then you need to learn about modern monetary theory, because everything that we have been taught is a fucking lie.
It's not true.
No kidding.
Okay, it's not. You're right that the Federal Reserve exists and it's there, but here's the thing.
You can't pay back any of the money that we take from them.
Here's
they
the
take
thing.
out more money than we
Oh, he's gonna put a wig on the mic so I talk to. Here's the thing. The U.S. government can print as much money as it wants. It doesn't have to stop printing money, because we are now on this weird system, and I can't quite explain it. All I can tell you is to look up modern monetary theory on YouTube and just watch a couple videos, because it will blow your goddamn mind. I am learning about it. It's something that is taking me a long time to learn about, but basically, as long as we have debt, somebody's gonna buy our debt, so we can always print money. There's no reason for any of this. We could print as much money as we needed to solve the deficit, to house the homeless, to heal the sick. They want to keep us controlled. And if you look up modern monetary theory, you will understand what I'm talking about a lot better, because I'm not the best person to explain it, because it's maths, and I'm not the most math-oriented person. So
I do understand that. I understand that completely. But the fact being is no matter how much money they print, you can never pay back the debt that you actually owe because they never make enough money to pay back the debt.
Like regular citizens, you mean?
For anybody, for the government. The government
the government is fine. That's what I'm saying. You need to watch these videos. Seriously. The government needs the debt because they sell it to other countries, and as long we are dependent on our debt.
I know, exactly. We are chattel. We are their debt. Every human, every citizen.
We're talking about different things.
Country is a note of debt. We are their fucking money makers. That's how they are making money.
But what I'm saying is, they keep us controlled with the myth of the deficit, with the myth that they don't have the money to help us all, the myth that the Fed can't just print as much money as it needs, because we aren't on a gold-backed system anymore. We're on like this weird debt-based system, right? So
it's a credit system, yeah.
Yeah, so it's I'm sorry, let me calm down. It's an electronic system, and as long as we have debt, it's valuable. So basically, all of the things that
it's only valuable though if you believe in it. If you have
and that's
faith
exactly. So I'm serious, Red. You should really watch some. I'll send you some of these videos because it blew my mind. Like, I think I know a lot about how this country works because you and I are both very educated on this stuff. We do this together, right? But my friend Andy sent me this insane group of videos that just totally blew my mind about how money works in the United States and why the deficit doesn't matter. None of it matters. It's just this myth that hangs over our heads to make us afraid and to keep us afraid.
Well,
Fiat currency. Thank you, New Day.
Money really isn't real.
Well, it's like religious guilt. It's the same thing as religious guilt and moral guilt and all that. Yeah. It's a vice.
Yeah, it's very similar. Very similar, Doc. That's a good point. It's very similar. They make you feel like you have to work, you have to do these things to provide for your community, to provide for the government, provide for your nation, and it's bullshit.
You have to find some guy or some lady out there that you and her can agree that she's your boss and she will employ you, and you guys will fund the government through your work relationship with her or him, and you'll be the employee forever, and they'll be the boss forever, and you are you're on the bottom of the trickle down.
And I do have to apologize to New Day, who is my friend and helper, because she's been investigating MMT for a long time. I probably have just hacked up this whole thing, so I do encourage you to investigate it on your own. And everything on this show, we encourage you to investigate on your own. We research the facts and we give you the facts, but you should never believe anybody.
Most of this, there's loose facts with a lot of opinion.
That's right. This is a conversation.
Okay, so here's something that she just said. It's valuable because taxes must be paid in the sovereign unit of account in U.S. dollars. That's what validates the dollar or any sovereign currency.
Sovereign?
Yeah, any sovereign country currency. Sovereign currency meaning country currency. Yeah.
But every country almost around the world that we work with works off of a credit-based system.
Right.
Hopefully.
And it's all bullshit, and that's what I'm trying to say. That we don't need to have poor people anymore, but they
it's all based
down.
off of faith. It's all based off. There's no real currency behind it. It's all based off of what you believe that the government can do for you.
Exactly.
And if everybody just decided to say, "Hey, fuck the government. This isn't real, and this is a fantasy land like unicorns and fucking dragons,"
well,
then the government would fail, and we could actually live our lives the way we're supposed to without all this bullshit.
I mean, what year was it they made bartering illegal? It became illegal. So, I mean, that was the start of all this.
Wait, it's illegal?
Yeah, bartering's illegal.
Well, we're fucked.
I know. Well, we all do it, and we're not going to stop doing it.
No, we aren't, because we're decolonizing, motherfuckers.
That is human nature.
Almost anything that we do on a day-to-day basis is illegal. Collecting rainwater is illegal. Growing your own food is illegal.
Right.
Freaking,
Preach.
Selling meat to your neighbor is illegal. Like, not not telling the IRS how many hours you worked per day is illegal. You know, there's so many things that are illegal that you do every day that is just complete bullshit.
It's true.
And wrong.
And it keeps us busy. It keeps us in the rat race. It keeps us constantly worried about our bills. And then we have our own personal debt. I don't think any of us here do.
Right.
Because we're smart enough, you know.
We're transmitting.
We do.
We're inputting. We're feeding. It's a constant thing, and I love you back.
That was Beard.
Beard, I love you too.
Beard's
We're having a
cool.
great time. We have some really great listeners, people that are giving us good ideas online right now.
You know what? We have such a great core group of people, and we used to do this show on an AM station in Reading, and this is a switch for us to YouTube. We're working out the kinks, and we're figuring it all out, and I'm really happy that everybody is tuned in. Thank you guys so much. I know it's Thursday night. You could probably be watching Scandal or something. You know?
Thank you, Bad,
What?
for having us dialed in.
Well, shit, dude. That's what I do.
He might.
Because he's bad to the bone.
You know it.
And Red, he's like our flavor pack.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's the flavor packet.
I'm just the color commentary. I just like to throw some ideas out there. It's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. I just have different ideas than most.
Okay, here we go. There's indigenous, I think that's how you say it, currency and exogenous, okay, there's indigenous currency, not indigenous, but END, and
Endogenous?
exogenous currency. The government creates endogenous currency. Banks create exogenous currency. So both of us are correct, Red.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, this is why I
Oh.
rely on my people,
Oh.
dude. They know
Yeah.
so
Oh.
much.
My mind exploded.
Endogenous and exogenous.
Okay, thank you. Endogenous and exogenous. I did not know those words until just now.
Neither did I, but, you know, roots and shit.
Thanks, man.
And I was
The
like,
math part of language.
and I was like, that's a weird spelling for indigenous. and that's why I'm Doc and I stay back a little bit.
We
Fucking
figured it
hilarious.
out. Thanks, dude. Hey.
We have the best input, though. I appreciate that. And everybody should input.
Mm-hmm.
Get in the chat. Help us out.
Tony G's up in the YouTube chat, too.
Tony G.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Who also, I
Tony
hope
G.
to hear Thoughts of Expansion podcast. He's going to be starting a podcast, too, and I'm going to be very interested in hearing what he has to say. That's one smart mofo right there. Thoughts of Expansion. You can follow them on Twitter.
Thoughts of expanse.
They cool. So, yeah, and what I really like about the podcast and the internet community is I work in FM radio, and that's a competitive bear, man. And I love the fact that this is all love. Like, we can say, that podcast is cool, go listen to them. You know, there's no competition like that. It's like, you know what, this is a great show, listen to it. People's Radio United, sorry, another great group of people who do great work. You can follow them on Twitter and on YouTube. They're great guys. They do a lot of police resistance in LA and a lot of protests from all over. And they also have radio shows constantly. So that's another one, People's Radio United. Go check them out. And of course, Top Gear Live on Anon UK Radio and all the Anon UK Radio Network on Spreaker. We love you guys. That's been our podcast on Sundays for, 4 years now almost?
I love that the name looks like Anunnaki.
It's all in leet speak. It's fucking hilarious.
For my friends out there that know what Anunnaki is, the name of their show looks like Anunnaki, so it makes you click it.
Toecast? Did I say Toecast?
She did not say Toecast, because you can't do that right now. That's not, you can't do that. The Toecast, the visual on a Toecast is so toenail related. Yeah, you can't do a Toecast. Nobody will click on that anymore.
Oh, the feet fetish people would.
I just had my first pedicure the other day. It was amazing.
You had a toe the other day? What?
I had a pedicure and they worked on my toes.
The whole time they're looking at his hair. They're like, yeah, we'll do your toes.
Bitch, you need to get the fuck out of New York.
If you have time for a pedicure, we have time to do a show.
You gotta experience new things. You know, you want to do it again, but it's nice to experience something at least
Don't
once.
fucking lie to me. You're gonna do it again as soon as
Oh,
you have the
I'm
chance.
sorry.
Is he saying that's his first pedicure?
We're complete assholes. Toecast is his Twitter. TOE cast. Thoughts of expansion.
Oh.
Cast. Sorry.
Oh. Damn it! Now we're all off on this weird tangent.
Yeah.
Toe_podcast on Insta and Twitter. There we go. Thank
Did we
you.
just expose the fact that we're illiterate? Did we just expose the fact that they just put a mic in front of us because we're
I'm
illiterate?
going off of hearsay, man.
Yeah.
That's bad enough.
Toecast.
I shouldn't do that.
I butchered those words.
That's okay. I'm thinking
I said them like fucking Top would. I mean, shit.
Top wood.
Endogenous and exogenous.
Endogenous and exogenous.
Okay, we learned some words, people. Rock and roll. There we go.
I just didn't even know what was happening.
Oh, and oh yeah, we're running out of time. We were gonna talk about a bunch of indigenous things as well. Cliven Bundy was released from prison this week, which pisses me off like to the teeth, because here's the thing, everyone is like, yay, they fucked with the feds and they were like rawr, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? BLM has been screwing with the Dan family, who's an indigenous family. They're Shoshone, they're Western Shoshone. They've been fucking with them for more than 30 years, and
the Shoshone Defense Project.
The Western Shoshone Defense Project is something that you should look into and see what they have had to fight. There was a treaty, the Treaty of Ruby Valley, that said that they aren't ceding their lands, they never ceded their lands, and the government's trying to buy it for some ridiculously small, like 5 cents an acre or
right, and
something.
they won't show their paperwork. They're refusing to show their paperwork. So obviously,
I'm shocked.
Shady deal, right?
Yeah.
And they're still using the land. They've gone in, they've mined, they've imposed, BLM has imposed grazing fees on the Dan family for their cattle, and it's their land.
Right, they
have
bought
a
90% of that valley, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
The neighboring farm, and I believe 90% of that valley, and they're waiting to get this property. They want this property, and it's a Toronto-based company.
Yeah, from Canada.
It's called Oro, Nevada, right?
Right.
But Oro meaning gold. Bad, set me straight on that. But Oro is also right in the middle of Toronto, and it's a Toronto-based company.
Toronto.
Toronto.
Oro.
Maybe I was too into the letters. You know what I mean? NWA for life. But the point is.
Word up.
The point is, it's a Canadian-based company trying to take Indigenous people's spot. And they want to take away the hot springs, and anybody knows anything about hot springs know how important they are to Indigenous people. And also, anybody could benefit from a natural spring or a hot spring like that. And they're just trying to run that whole valley.
And they have been. Nevada has been... I grew up in Nevada, and I lived in Ruby Valley and in Diamond Valley and in Eureka. So this is near Eureka, Nevada. That's the closest town. It's very small. Shocking. Nevada has a lot of really small towns. And I personally know the Dan sisters. I'm sure they wouldn't remember me because I was like 6 when I knew them, but my dad knows them. And one of the Dan sisters passed away. I'm not sure both of them have. It's been a really long time. Excuse me. And I remember them from when I was a little kid. I remember sitting real next to them in a town meeting, and like they were still fighting this even back then, and it just kept going and going. And in the 90s, it really kind of came to a head. We sent a delegation of Native people, we being the Native Student Alliance at my college. I helped coordinate I was kind of like part of the tribal council of the Native Student Alliance at my college. And we could not go ourselves because we had classes, but we amassed some natives who went down and helped occupy the land, because that's our last hope, is occupation of the land.
Right.
As you saw at Standing Rock.
Exactly. Be there to try to avoid what they're trying to bring. You sent But now, what family member of theirs was it that actually took it to the limit? Really, he took it to the point that he burned himself in.
That was Clifford
in
Dan.
protest.
Yeah. He. I'm not sure exactly. Not the time. I'm not sure exactly what year it was, but there was a big protest going on. The BLM was threatening to seize lands or do something awful, and no one was paying attention to them. So Clifford Dan poured gasoline all over himself when the feds were at the gates and lit himself on fire to bring attention to this cause.
I mean, this image should be in people's heads.
It's
like,
burned in mine. I saw it on video. It was horrifying.
It should be in people's heads like Tiananmen Square when the guy had the flags. He's in front of the tank. And we were talking earlier how that's been erased from Chinese,
history.
History. But that's this. He put his life on the line right there. Yeah, he survived it. But he doesn't know that. He put his life just to draw attention to the thing.
Yeah.
And we have people these days that light a stage and for a performance and do all these things to show a light on their performance. This man put his life on the line just to get any attention. And I think that it did. There was a call to action after that, I believe. When was this? This was back.
It was in the 90s.
Yeah, before the internet.
It was the late 90s, like the 95, 94, 95 maybe. I don't have the best memory. Sorry. So
that's okay.
That's a drag. But I just remember this whole time because some of our people went. Some of our students did get a chance to go for a couple weeks, and they came back and reported on it, and it was just, it was cold, and it was muddy, and it was really hard to do,
Right.
I mean, when you occupy... This part of Nevada is high desert. It's super cold in the wintertime. It's ridiculously cold. I have never been that cold, except when I lived in Montana. And we're talking about people who have come from, like, LA and all over the place, and they don't know what to do. They're not prepared, So that's another thing. And we saw that at Standing Rock. A lot of people came to North Dakota.
Yeah. Jesus.
Not understanding that it's going to be snowing by October, and with sub-zero temperatures, you can't just have, we were doing a protest downtown, as a matter of fact, here in our town. We were trying to get, we're doing Jesus fucking Christ, the divest thing with the banks. So we were protesting at a Wells Fargo bank, and there was one woman who was telling me she was going to go to Standing Rock. And I was like, dude, it's October. What are you taking? And she's like, I'll be fine. I'm just taking my sleeping bag. I was like, you are insane.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you can't go to North Dakota right now with that kind of equipment. You need to have sub-zero sleeping bags. You need to have, like, some kind of tent or a trailer or something.
I have my fleece.
I'm good. I have a blanket. I was like, you're insane. You're going to die.
Right.
And you're going to strain the people that are already there because that was a big deal at Standing Rock. Yeah. People came in with good intentions, but they strained the resources of the protest community, and that was hard to deal with because they didn't understand.
Now we know. Next time we go in scuba gear under our warm gear because they are going to spray poison on us the whole time.
Yeah. Right. My God. And that, one thing about Standing Rock is this is how they have treated us, Native American people, for a very, very long time. The brutality is just unreal. And we got it on video, finally. Yeah. Amy Goodman was there with Democracy Now! We had Censored News doing wonderful reporting. Unicorn Riot, Revolutionary Z. I mean, so many. Kevin, what's his name? He's the Redbeard guy. He was wonderful. He was streaming during the Battle of the Bridge. You had Myron Dewey with his drone. And, what are they called? Oh, God. It evades me. He's from Schurz, so I should know.
Well, and all those law enforcement officers are telling their kids what heroes they were. And you know what? Those kids are going to grow up and see all their parents for exactly what they were.
I hope so.
And the pain is going to be so freaking deep in those families. But it still will pale in comparison to the pain that they put on Native families by stealing their ground and putting poison in their dirt.
Loosen the dogs on people on Indigenous Peoples Day. That was fun too.
If you feel no shame, shame is coming.
A lot of
shame is
there
heavy.
were some law enforcement officers that were brought in from another state that Morton County thugs said they needed backup to help just with the amount of protesters. When they got there, they saw what was happening, they turned around and left, and they sued Morton County for a breach of contract or something for lying to them about the premise of why they needed them. They just wanted them to come shoot at the protesters with them, and they said no. We are just about out of time. It was from another state. I can't remember. I think it was Nebraska.
Okay.
Well, I thought they had people, law enforcement. They were drawing from a huge pool.
Unicorn Riot. Sorry. What?
Unicorn Riot.
Black Snake Killers. That's awesome. You guys check out Unicorn Riot's documentary Black Snake Killers. It's with a A-H-A-Z. Killers. You can check that out on unicornriot.ninja.
Yep.
Check that there. That's a really good thing. And I believe there may be a Standing Rock movie on Netflix. I'm not sure.
Standing Rock, the movie.
Red, we're almost out of time. We need to hear something about drums or harmonicas or something.
Well, wait. Hey, play the harmonica while I read stuff about California Republicans quitting their jobs.
Red?
That's a trumpet, dude. Red
man, where's your... Oh my god, he put his harmonica down.
I yelled at him and he had to be sad and he ran away.
Anyway, 2 Republican congressmen have quit their jobs this week. They will not run for re-election. They didn't win by very big margins either. Both SoCalers. And that's it.
It's kitchen sink.
It's
kitchen sink. Kitchen sink.
The kitchen sink. With gear.
There was just kittens and fucking puppies and rainbows and bunnies. Bad.
How can you edit out a Pegasus?
Red.
I like unicorns.
And Doc.
Loose cannon!
What have you got yourself into, man?
Everything.
And the kitchen sink.
Just sitting around freaking hanging out.
You know,
it's kind of like the Newsweek.
There's not much going on in the news.
It was just the news was just kind of hanging out.
I've thought that the president being investigated by the FBI was kind of normal. You know, that's happened before, hasn't it?
Has.
That's happened before,
that makes
right?
It normal. Yeah, that happened before.
The kitchen sink.
Thursdays at 8 p.m.